Welcome all. In this lecture, we are discussing the basic terminologies used in electrical engineering. So, firstly, what is electric current? So, consider a conductor through which charge is flowing. The charge is flowing from point A to point B. So, this charge flow in a definite time is called electric current, or we can define the current as I equal to Q by T. If a Q amount of charge is transferred from A to B by a time T, the current is defined as I is equal to Q by T. By definition, we can define the current as the rate of change of charge with respect to time is the electric current. Q by T is the rate of change of charge with respect to time. It is called the electric current, and the unit of electric current is ampere, represented by letter A, and the unit of charge is coulomb, represented by the letter C. And we told that the charge flow from A to B is called current. So in order to happen this charge transfer from the point A to B, there should be a energy difference. We know that the matter will get transferred only if there is an energy difference. Means in order to flow the charge from A to B, the electric potential energy at point A should be higher than at point B. Means let the electric potential at A is VA and at point B is VB. In order to happen a current flow, the potential at A or potential energy at A, that is VA, should be higher than VB, and this potential difference is called voltage across these points A and B. So VAB, the voltage across A and B, is defined as the potential difference of A and B, VA minus VB. You can define the voltage as potential difference between 2 points is called the voltage across the point. So it should be noted that we are terming the voltage across 2 points. We cannot say the voltage at a point. It should be across 2 points, since it is the difference between potential between 2 points. So we will be always terming the voltage as across. And the current is actually flowing through a conductor. So it is actually terming, always we are terming the current as flowing through. And the unit of voltage is volt, represented by the letter V. So now we discuss the current flow and voltage through a conductor AB. So the conductor is AB and the voltage across it is VAB, and a current is flowing. So we told that in order to happen the current flow, there should be a potential difference or energy difference between the points A and B. So it is obvious that there should be a energy source in order to create this energy difference or potential difference. Then only current will flow. So this energy source or electric source is called EMF. So EMF is defined as the electric source which creates an electric current to flow in a circuit, electromotive force, EMF. This source creates this potential difference or energy, that energy for that energy difference. Then only this current will happen. So it is called, that source is called EMF, and the unit is volt, the same as the unit of voltage. And we now define the EMF, and through a conductor AB the current is flowing. So this conductor has a property to oppose this current. This is called resistance of the conductor. The property of substance which opposes the flow of an electric current through it is called resistance R. And the unit of resistance is ohm. It is represented by the Greek letter ohm. And now we can discuss the factors upon which resistance is depending. Firstly, we told that the resistance is actually the property by which the conductor opposes the current. So it's obvious that if this length of the conductor is increasing, the resistance, the opposition will be increasing. So we can say that resistance is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. If length is increased, the opposition will be increasing or resistance will be increasing. If length is decreased, means the R will be decreasing. And nextly, so consider if the conductor cross section is very large. If the cross section is large, means the current can easily flow through the conductor. So means resistance is inversely proportional to the cross section of the conductor. Means if the cross section is increasing, resistance will be decreasing or opposition will be decreasing, and if cross section is decreasing, means the opposition will be increasing. Okay, or R is inversely proportional to the cross section area of the conductor. And obviously we can say that resistance is depending upon the nature of material and temperature. So by combining these 2 points, R is directly proportional to L and R is inversely proportional to the area of cross section, we can say that R is proportional to L by A. And we are terming the proportionality constant as rho. The resistivity of the material is called rho. Okay, and the unit is ohm meter. So now we told that this conductor is having a resistance R. So we can represent the conductor by the symbol of a resistance as this diagram. Okay, so this become a electric circuit. And now the conductor having resistance R with a potential difference V, and the current is flowing through it. It is I by the source EMF. So we can have a relation between I, V and R using the law Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is defined as, or it states that the current through any conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference or voltage across it at constant temperature. Means at constant temperature the voltage is directly proportional to I. For any conductor at constant temperature, the voltage across it is directly proportional to I. Means if V is increasing, I is increasing. Okay, and the proportionality constant is the resistance R, or V equal to R into I. So Ohm's law is actually a relation between the voltage, current and resistance of a conductor. And next term is conductance. Conductance is actually the reciprocal of resistance, G equal to 1 by R, and unit is mho. The conductivity is the reciprocal of resistivity, sigma equal to 1 by rho. And next we told that the current, we defined the current as the charge flow. The charge is transferred from A to B because of a potential difference. This energy is provided, or the energy to create this potential difference is provided by the EMF. So in order to transfer the Q amount of charge from A to B, obviously a work will be done. Okay, a work will be done to transfer an amount of charge Q from A to B by withstanding the voltage V across it. And this work can be defined as W equal to V into Q, the product of this voltage and the charge. And if we have the work, we can define the power. Power is defined as the rate of work done, or P equal to W by T, or we can say that by substituting W as VQ, P equal to VQ by T, or again this Q by T is actually current, so it is I, so P equal to V into I. So we can find the power in a DC circuit by the product of voltage and current, P equal to V into I. And if we have the power, we can find the energy also. Before that, unit of power is watt. Okay, and energy is defined as the product of power and time, E equal to P into T, and the unit is watt into hour, watt hour. The unit of power is watt and energy is watt hour. Power is P equal to V into I. Now, if we want to find the power in an electric circuit, we can use the formula P equal to V into I. Suppose we are finding the power supplied by a electric source, a battery or anything. Okay, so if we have the voltage across the voltage of the EMF or source as V, and the current is delivered by the source as I, then the power is V into I. Okay, then if current is delivering, the power will be supplying by the source. If current is entering to the voltage source, it will be consuming the power is consumed by the source. Okay. Anyway, P equal to V into I. This V is the voltage of the source and I is the current delivered by the source. And suppose we are finding the power absorbed by the resistor. A resistor will be always absorbing the power. Okay. And if the resistor is R and the voltage across the resistor is V and current flowing through the resistor is I, the power, we can find the power as V into I. But we can say that this V, by Ohm's law, this V is I into R. So we can say that P equal to I into R into I. This V can be substituted as I into R by Ohm's law. So it become P equal to I square R. Okay, so if we know the current through the resistor and the resistor value, we can find the power as I square R. And again, from this equation, if we are substituting for I from the Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R. So we can say P equal to V into this I become V by R. So it become V square by R. So if we know the voltage across the resistor and the resistor value, we can find the power as V square by R. So it should be noted that this V is actually the voltage across this resistor and I is the current flowing through the resistor. So if voltage and current is known, we can find the power by P equal to V into I, and if only the current and resistor value is known, we can use P equal to I square R, and if only the voltage across the resistor and resistance value is known, we can use the formula P equal to V square by R. So by this we can wind up this session. Thank you.